All right, welcome. So here we got Power Ranger, Power Rangers. We got the Power Rangers. Jeez, welcome, welcome. Here we got Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, which I may have played. I don't know if I played this. I'm just jumping arcade. Oh, look, there's Tommy tweeting. Let's start with Tommy. Kind of like that. Who's my second? Oh, Goldar. Dude, I love old school Goldar. Why not? Wait, that. Dude, what? Do I just choose everyone? Okay, well, apparently I have a 3-person team. Why not? Tell me what the bad guys. So this is the Battle for the Grid, which when I first saw a trailer for this, I was super excited. I had recently watched the new movie. Oh boy, we're off to a good start. Well, at the time of the new movie, this is like 3 years ago or whatever. And it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did not really like the designs for the Megazord. But whatever, no movie's perfect. Also, Goldar, I thought he looked horrible. But that's just me. I like the people in big clunky suits fighting in a city. How do I switch characters? Okay, I can do attacks. That's not working. But then sometime after that, I saw this trailer online, live action trailer featuring what's his name, Jason Franks or whatever, or I think that's his name, the guy who played Tommy in the original series. And look, there's that. And it had him as like a bad guy, and Lord Draken, like remembering the past, and showing like clips of the original series. Oh crap, I'm still going. Forgot they had multiple characters. And I threw you. And so I'm sitting here like, holy crap, they're gonna bring back the original Tommy as a bad guy to fight like multiple teams of Power Rangers. Like, this is going to be amazing. And then I found out that it was just a trailer for an upcoming comic book run. I was so mad. Jeez, that was a hit. So I was pretty excited when this game came out, although it was extremely limited when it first came out. It only had like, I really need to figure out how to switch characters. Well, that didn't work. It was really limited. I think there was only like 6 or 8 characters to choose from. And they've been adding more and more to it. I think when it first started, it might have only been 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. You definitely didn't have like the Zords attacking people. Oh jeez, that looks awesome in the background. So they have been updating this, and it's a pretty solid fighting game. Not that I'm any good at fighting games. Okay, how do I switch? Hey, I figured out how to switch. Yay, me. I'm Zed. He kind of reminds me of, I was just slamming that because, like, kind of reminds me of Cyclops, where, like, half of his normal attacks were just, Oh, that's awesome. Anyways, like Cyclops in like the Marvel vs. Capcom, like half of his attacks were just laser blasts. Which, I mean, that makes sense. The guy just has lasers for eyes. Jeez, that is tough. Which Zord is that in the background? I should probably be paying attention. Haha, I'm Goldar now. No, what? I didn't do that right. No, I don't. I want to switch. Okay. Did I switch? No, I didn't. I don't know. Well, apparently the X button is just your special button, so that's good to know. Yeah, it's quite the knee. That looks pretty awesome. Is it?
With the power of snow.
Jeez. Okay, Sub-Zero. Dude, I haven't watched any Power Rangers series beyond the first one. I don't know what any of these characters are doing. Oh man, so I was recently kind of rewatching. I was recently rewatching some of the original series, and it kind of amuses me because I feel like they put like an hour's worth of episodes in every half-hour episode. Wow, let me try that again. An hour's worth of story into every half-hour episode. Hi, Trini. Holy crap. Holy crap. Okay, they're not playing around anymore. Yeah, you just killed me. Shoot it now. I hear Zed. But there were times like, okay, in the first few episodes, there was a turtle with a stoplight in its back. And this isn't like some enemy we fought long ago. Like one of Rita's idiot servants. It's like, oh, Rita's asleep. Let's create a monster to surprise her. And at first the other one's like, oh, it's just a turtle. He's like, not just a turtle. And he takes a stop sign and shoves it in the turtle's back. In the first season, they literally made the enemies out of clay and put them through an oven to create the monsters. But so okay, this is a brand new thing, just exists. Starts fighting turtles. Look, the turtles. Wow, I've been thinking a lot about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, you go, Triumph. Did I hit continue? I've just been hitting buttons. So he looks at Trini, and flashes like the green light, and Trini suddenly cannot stop running. And then he looks at like three of the other Power Rangers, and oh, it's cool. Sure. He looks at three of the others, and he hits the red light, so they all freeze. And the bad guy version of Zack. Yeah, why not? When they get back to the command center, Zordon looks at him. He's just like, "Oh, they've been affected by whatever the turtle's name was, by his freeze ray. There's no known cure." And I'm sitting here thinking, like, well, of course there's no known cure. It's existed for like an hour. I like that. Dragon Zord. But there's a lot of like suddenly like you have despite the fact that it was something that's only existed for an hour and there's no known cure, Zordon's already working on a cure for it. There's other episodes where, like, oh no, this horrible things happen. But don't worry, we were planning on it. We got this the cure for it all set and ready to go. Or like, oh, Billy's gonna work on the cure, so you better go fight. And they start losing, like, oh, Billy, we need help. Don't worry, I've got it ready to go now. Actually, my favorite episode. So if you don't know, in the original series, Tommy started off as Green Ranger. He started off as evil, and he assist. And then he becomes a good guy. So Rita has this plan where she has like a green candle, and if the candle completely burns out, then she gets the Green Ranger's powers back. I'm trying to switch. Whatever. And okay, that worked. So anyways, he transfers his powers over to the Red Ranger, so that way Rita can't get him. And then later he gets his powers back because like the Rangers fail at something, and the only coin they have left is Tommy's. So he becomes a Ranger again by taking some of Zordon's power. And basically it's you have limited power, so eventually you're going to lose the ability to be a Ranger forever. And it is in one of those episodes where he's desperately fighting with the last little bit of his power, and the monster they're fighting, it's some kind of like hermit crab thing or something. And
I need more quantum power.
uh-oh, here we go. What the? I got a lightsaber. What are they doing, those quantum physics?
Quantum displays.
Anyways, they tell Tommy, like, oh yeah, this turtle, or this crustacean thingamabob, if you heat up its inside, when you cool down its outside, it will break its armor and you'll be able to damage it. So he's like, all right, I know what to do. And all of a sudden, you just, like, immediately, he's sitting beside a bunch of watermelons. You're like, where did the watermelons come from? And then the monster looks over and like, oh look, there's a bunch of watermelons in the back of a vehicle. That sounds tasty. So he reaches down, grabs the watermelon, throws them in his mouth, and Tommy's like, all right, here we go. He pulls out this gun you've never seen before and just starts shooting.
We need Dragon Zord! My communicator. Yes, Zordon.
Tommy, the only way to defeat this monster is to hit his inner shell with intense heat. Then the outside with water to freeze him. You must get inside Turbine Shell's belly.
Right, Zordon.
Yeah, what have we here? It looks like lunch for me.
That's right, Wormface.
How's that for someone to leave this for me? After all, it's hungry work destroying the city. Yum, yum. Now we're back to work.
All right, I'm in. It's injection time.
What should I destroy next? My stomach. What's going on inside of me? Heartburn.
And then they like spray water on him, breaks the crustacean. When he's free, he hands the gun to Billy. He's like, yeah, this gun you made is great. Like, when did any of this happen?
Not by a long shot.
And that's why I love Power Rangers, because it is, you feel like they just like take a book and just randomly select pages to read, and like, yeah, people will follow along. Actually, there was a movie series that was kind of like that. Holy crap, there's Big Trini again. It was the Day Watch, Night Watch. It's like Russian series, I believe, based on like novels about like this
Quantum leap.
like society of vampires and other monsters. And pretty cool movie, but it's really confusing if you watch the two movies.
Formation, sword.
Oh.
Formation, quantum leap.
Come on, I'm trying to switch. I'll get it someday. But anyways, the first book is apparently 3 sections, and the first movie is the first section of the first book. The second movie is the second book. And so there's characters that just show up, and the characters you know are just interacting with them, like they've known them for a long time. You're like, who's that? And they're like referring to situations that happen in between the two movies, as if you're just supposed to know what it was. And and it becomes so confusing. The dragon's pretty cool. I need to end this episode soon. I want this to be a pretty short one. Oh, she's so big. Oh man, Trini. There's a episode focused on her that it's great because there's see, if you don't know, basically they bought footage from Super Sentai out of Japan, and they would just record footage with like the American actors, and then basically all the Ranger footage and all the monster footage was from the Japanese show. Because they ran the first series for like 3 years, they did basically just purchase all the outfits and everything, because eventually they kind of had to film some of their own footage. Plus, by buying the outfits, it allowed them to have scenes with like the American actors in the Ranger suits without their helmets on. Anyways, you run into some problems because there's things like scenes where there's a panic and people running through the cities, and you'll notice like, oh look, it's all Asian people running in the cities. Or a scene that'll take place in like one of the Rangers' bedrooms, and like you'll see the Ranger go to bed, and then the faraway shot is like, that's not the same person. But the greatest moment of this was in a episode kind of focused on Trini, where she was like had this doll that she loved. It belonged to her mom, and Rita, being the evil person she is, brought the doll to life, and the doll had like this jar. He liked collecting things. And so for the Power Rangers episode, like he's collecting like cars and stoplights. Oops, can't stop playing Rub My Eye for a moment there. And random stuff like that. And yeah, there's like people trapped in the car. I think a couple of Rangers are in the car, and so the Rangers go to stop him. And he's not an evil guy, so they basically convince him to release everything. But in the Super Sentai version, it was more like a Pied Piper story. And doing good.
Looks like I have to bail you out here.
Oh, I was trying to do an assist, not a switch. It was more of a Pied Piper story, and he was taking the children. To which I told someone at work, they probably avoided a lot of those scenes because they didn't want to explain why a monster supposedly in America was exclusively kidnapping Japanese children, because that might be awkward to explain. But anyways, you ran into an issue where you had limited footage, and so they wanted the scene of him opening his jar back up and releasing everything. Unfortunately, when that happens, one of those children is beside the monster, and the everyone's been made giant, so now you have like this skyscraper-sized Japanese kid standing beside a monster, and on the other side of the monster is the Megazord, and it's just like, yeah, that's something you see every day. How do I do the Ultra thing? Well, never mind.
You have been warned.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Yeah, take that. Oh, that's so good.
I'm not just any ranger. Not by a long shot.
Back to action.
3, 2, 1.
All right, I need to get going. So thank you very much for joining me. Get a good look at Zordon there in the background. But hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. And until next time, my dear friends. Until next time.